Good afternoon, good day, everyone. We've got Allison Glick in the house. She's a marketing and branding professional. So, Allie, why don't we start off with sharing with everyone, how we met, how we connected, and where were you from a professional perspective, your role, the company, at the time that we connected, and what motivated you to reach out to someone like myself?
What happened was I was looking for jobs. I had my resume and I had been looking for probably 3 or 4 months and I wasn't really getting anywhere. And I was kind of frustrated with my current position. My previous company was using me as a sales assistant basically during COVID. And so I was unhappy. I knew I was underpaid and everything I was doing wasn't really working. And so my husband, who is a member of AE Pi, saw Arthur's ad. And he said, why don't we just give it a shot? Let's talk to him and see what Arthur can do for you. And ultimately, we decided it was a good step, especially with the interview coaching, the revamping of the resumes, which really helped, and overall rehaul of my LinkedIn profile, which we knew would help immensely, at least getting those first steps for the initial interview process.
And the first 4 steps of the program really are designed to help you, the client, have a job search game plan.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel was kind of the game changer for you, in addition to having the resumes and the LinkedIn with the 8-step program?
To be honest, the biggest game changer was the resume, because the resume had the search word optimization that, like any of the softwares a lot of these big companies use, they have the trigger words that they pick out. And the resume really, really helped, at least to get to the first few rounds of interviews. The next thing was probably the interview coaching, but perhaps the question that every potential employer liked the most that I ended up asking them was, what would hinder you from hiring me? With the update of the LinkedIn profile, I was getting recruiting calls, recruiting reach outs on LinkedIn left and right. But this company that I'm going to go work for was through a recruiter. They reached out to me because of the LinkedIn.
So let me just make a point here to the people that are listening. What a lot of people don't understand or don't realize is that LinkedIn is a search engine, just like Google or anything else. But if your profile, number one, isn't written properly based on how LinkedIn's algorithm and optimization works, you're typically not going to be coming up in a search, in your case, whether it's a recruiter or a decision maker. But being active on LinkedIn, and again, liking posts, commenting, creating your own content, that increases your visibility. So I want to make sure that people understand LinkedIn is not just another platform to put your resume on and then fall asleep. You have to be active on it. And that's the beauty of it. So how has this changed your life from the perspective of, having worked with a coach and leveling up your career as a professional and then everything else, financially, personally, and professionally?
Wow, it's changed everything. I didn't realize how unhappy I was at my previous job till my maternity leave was ending and I still hadn't had a role. I mean, as Arthur knows, I was talking to him about just quitting financially. I was severely underpaid. I was at my previous role for 5 years. I only had 1 raise, and then another raise because of a cost of living increase during the beginning of COVID. So only 2 times. And I have essentially doubled my income by making this move.
All right, beautiful. So what would you share to people that are kind of in your shoes? They've been with the company for however long, no raises. What do you think is the difference between when you were doing this alone versus having a coach? You've got somebody right next to you and ultimately help you negotiate your offers and all those important things.
So I think the biggest thing, as I mentioned, was both the search optimization of the resume and the LinkedIn profile. So I think that really helped. And also having Arthur just to be able to run mock interviews with. It wasn't necessarily the whole 30 or hour long interview, but he would look at the position that you're applying for and the person that you're going to interview with and say, pick out key questions that might pop up in the interview, which did help a lot. And it gave me somebody to talk to who wasn't family about the job search process, which is kind of nice. If you're like me and very stubborn and don't always listen to your family members, having Arthur there was a good tool to utilize.